What's the deal? What's the deal? What's up? What's up? Let me turn some music on. Give me 1 second. Let me get all this straight. We're gonna do this right. What's the deal? What's the deal? Turn it over this way. Yeah, this is good.
A Dirty Glove mixtape exclusive. I put the dope in the spot.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's up? What's up? So we're gonna let this music play out. It's about 2 minutes.
Fade it in.
We're gonna get it in. What's the deal? What's up? What's up? What's the deal? What's the deal? You off the veil now? What's the deal? Alright? We get it in. Alright? What's up? What's up? No, I'm not in Houston. I'm still in Vegas. What's the deal? Big shout out to Houston. Big shout out to Houston. What's the deal? What's up? You already know. What is the sacred marriage? Well, that's the title of the video. We gonna go in. Alright? We about to talk about that. So we ain't even started yet. We just letting people come in. Let the people come in. We ain't even talking yet. Peace. What's up? What's up, Callie? What's the deal? What's up? So, just got some intro planned. We gonna get it in. We gonna get it in. What's up? What's up? Just getting the calm fool in. Peace. What's up? What's up, Rob? What's the deal? What's up? Alright, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get it in. Alright. What's the deal? What's the deal? Peace to everybody tuning in. Peace to everybody that's gonna watch this later on. We back in this motherfucker once again. So let me let y'all know what's going on before we get into the topic. So this will be the last live stream of the month of May. Yeah, shout out to Georgia. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Georgia. You already know. So this will be the last live stream. So as you know, like I said, it's no more veil. So I've been instructed by Spirit. Spirit just let me know, like, all right, it's time for you to set certain plays in motion so we can do some fly shit. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. This will be the last live stream so I can put some plays in motion so I can come back and do some way more fly shit. I'm kind of getting bored with this, honestly. I'm getting bored with this regular. It's time to do some fly shit. It's time to graduate. You know what I mean? We on our graduation trip right now, so we gonna graduate. I'm gonna show y'all more. I'm gonna do more. You know what I mean? I'm putting more pressure on myself so I can show forth more. You know what I mean? We just gonna be on our grown man and grown woman shit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna set this down for a while. I'm gonna set this down, put some plays in motion so we can go, so we can elevate and we can go to the next level. You know what I mean? So I gotta hit the books again. You know what I mean? I gotta do some more traveling. So this will be the last one. Now, when I come back, I'm not sure, but again, I'm gonna be handling business in the background, so I'm not just gonna be chilling nowhere. It's time to put some plays in motion and show forth more. Let me put on some more music, you know what I mean? Because I haven't even been doing the music lately. Let me put on some more music. Man, so y'all already know. So yeah, we about to put some plays in motion. That's all we doing. You know what I mean? We're gonna show forth the power of God, right? The power of Allah. You know what I mean? We're gonna show and prove. Enough talking. You know what I mean? I'm kind of getting tired of talking. You know what I mean? I'm gonna silence myself. We're gonna silence it, and we're gonna show and prove. You know what I mean? So that's what God's supposed to do, right? God's supposed to show and prove. So we're gonna show and prove. So I done gave y'all the game the whole month of May. I done gave y'all the game. So y'all should be doing the same. Y'all should be doing the same. So again, it's time for graduation. That's why, you know what I mean? We suited and booted. You know what I mean? We already know. We looking luxurious. We gonna get this shit started. So Again, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask any questions at any time. But I do want to talk about sacred marriages. Well, let me put on some more music. But I'll turn it down. What's up, food for thought? Yeah, I see you. What's the deal? You know what I mean? Also, you know, shout out to everybody still fasting for Ramadan. You know, I'm a Musliminas. You know what I mean? You already know. Let me put on some heat. Let me put on some future. You know what I mean? What's up, Candace? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's up? What's up? Y'all already know. Let me put some hits on. Y'all already know how we do. Give me 1 second. Make sure this is good. Now I'm gonna make sure the music is down so it's not overwhelming. So let me get the levels right. So we getting these levels right. So y'all can still hear everything. What's up? I see you. What is it? Solar? Or Solaris, you know, y'all be having these crazy names, but I see y'all. I see you. Shout out to you. Hola. I see you. What's up? What's up? Okay, let me get these levels right. Alright. So y'all already know we're gonna put on some future. It came to you in a dream. Keep putting in that work. Keep putting in that work. Keep putting in that work. It's been a while. Yeah, you caught the last one. That's good. It's been a while. This is gonna be the last one for a minute. You know what I mean? So good shit, bro. Good shit. Yeah, we're gonna definitely be getting our mind right. We're gonna definitely get our mind right. Oh, I see Anubis. I see you. Shout out to you, Anubis. I see you. So y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if the music is too loud. We'll adjust the levels as we need to. So let's get into it. So the last message I want to impart to y'all before I make my moves. The last thing I want to say. You know, I think it's a little too loud. Yeah, let me turn it down because the speaker is like right here. But I also got the tarot. You know what I mean? So besides what I'm going to talk about, we're going to see what the tarot has to say, you know, before we get up out of here. So let's actually start with this first and foremost. And we'll just let it flow from there. Before we even get to the sacred marriages. And again, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask at any point of the video. We're not going to be on here too long. You know what I mean? Let me make sure the angles is cool. So hopefully everybody on their shit. You know what I mean? Hopefully everybody on their shit. Of course, you know, we on the 23rd day. You know what I mean? For those who are in tune, y'all know what that's about. You know what I mean? I just did a video about the secret signs of number 23, so y'all already know. Hopefully y'all paying attention. Hopefully y'all paying attention. Can you participate in Ramadan although it's already started? You can do as you please. Do as you please. You can do as you please. If that's what you feel inclined to do, then handle your business. Handle your business. Don't even trip. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what the rules are, what somebody else say. Handle your business. So make sure the lighting is good. Yeah, that should be good right there. Is the devil good or bad? It depends on your definition of what the devil is. You know what I mean? Some people think the devil is this spirit, this malevolent, there we go, spirit. And some people look at the devil as an actual being. It all depends on what your idea of the devil is. You know? You fasted for Ramadan, shout out to you. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? So we shuffled up, let me cut the deck. We're gonna get it in. Hold on. This is going a little bit too slow. Let me put on something a little bit more upbeat as we do this reading. Let me see what we got. Hold on. We got a whole library. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Yeah, let me put this on. See what the deal is. Put on some Wiz Khalifa. Gracias. What's the best way to prepare mentally and spiritually to leave this realm? What do you mean by leave this realm? Like, you talking about death? Or are you talking about a spiritual death? You talking about the physical death or a mental death or a spiritual death? So what do you mean by leave this realm? You gotta let me know what you mean. Let me stand over here. You know, the lighting is all crazy. Let me see. Physical death. Well, to prepare yourself for a physical death. You know what I mean? It's not hard. Become one with death. Study death. Read the Egyptian Book of the Dead. See where you're going after you get up out of here. You know what I mean? Read the Egyptian Book of the Dead so that you can have an idea of what the trials and tribulations you will be faced with after you leave this body. You know what I mean? So there you go, if you need a reference. But if you don't, if you want my personal opinion, then you know, again, I'm not here to judge nobody, whatever they want to do. If you feel it's time for you to get up out of here, then it is what it is. But you know what I mean? Just be right in your spirit. Be right in your spirit. Make sure that you did what you wanted to do in this life and that you are satisfied. Don't get up out of here because you mad or you upset or you feeling some type of way. Don't take no negative emotions into the death realm. Be positive. You know what I mean? Don't take no negativity to it, or you will end up coming right back here. You know, that's the whole point. Don't leave this world feeling no type of way about it. Let it pass, let it die, and go to the next round. You know, that's what you must do. What's up, Ian? So let's start this reading. Let's see what the first card got to say. What we got? First card. First card is the Star. What's the second card? The Queen of Wands. What's the third card? We're going to go pull 3 cards. What's the third card? Okay, hold on. The Knight of Cups. So what is this? So we got the Star, which is pretty much tapping you into the celestial realm. That's why you see a bunch of stars and planets, and you see the bird in its celestial form. So this is talking about tapping into your etheric substance. Next, we got the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is all about being able to calculate your moves ahead of time. Because again, we're dealing with the Queen of Wands. If y'all been listening, y'all know that the Queen represents the water element. So the water element within the soup of fire, because Wands is fire. So you have the water element within the soup of fire. So the water or the substance or the wisdom within the fire gives you the ability to theorize and the ability to calculate. So this is basically get your ability to project yourself into the future and see things and plan things before you make moves. You know what I mean? So being able to calculate before you actually take action. And lastly, let me actually put on something else. Lastly, the Knight of Cups. And we know the Knight or the Prince is the air element. We're dealing with the cups. So this is the air element within the suit of cups. And we know the air element represents your mental processes, represent the mental plane. So the mental process, your thoughts within your emotion, the thought behind emotion. So you see the definition is spellbind and charisma. I believe it said charisma, yes. So this is basically, you know, the ability to be able to be charismatic, to put people under a spell, you know, with your words, with your ways, and with your actions. So when we put all this together, what do we have? Because once again, we have the celestial realm. We have the ability to think into the future and plan before you act. And lastly, we have your ability to cast spells and to spellbind people with your words and with your charisma. So when we put this together, so this is letting us know that your spiritual origins or your cosmic origins, where you are from the stars. You know, we are all from the stars. We are star people. We come from the stars. We descended into this plane and made this earth our home. So this is just a reminder that we are celestial beings by nature. We are etheric beings by nature. So when you tap into your spiritual home, your etheric home, your cosmic home, your spiritual origins, however you want to call it, this is just letting you know that, again, the star represents, as we see over here, this is Aquarius, right? So this represents the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is all about being the rebel, Aquarius is all about doing things your way. Aquarius is all about, you know what I mean, being the outlaw, being somebody who makes their own law and lives by their own rules and regulations. That has nothing to do with the standards of, you know, the man-made law. So this is basically tapping into your cosmic origins, basically tapping into the spirit realm through the dream realm. So this is basically letting you know, getting in tune with your dreams, getting in tune with your spirit, being able to pull down information from the spirit realm, being able to descend this information. So tapping into the dream world and being able to interpret your dreams. So when you pull the information down from the spirit realm through your dreams, you know, putting in that real spiritual work which takes place in the spirit realm, this gives you the ability, because this furthers your insight to what you really need to do physically. So once we get to the Queen of Wands, you get to the point where, okay, now that you have pulled information down directly from spirit, now you can make calculated moves. Now you're not just going based off of strictly emotion. Now you're making moves based on what you have seen and what you have experienced. And based on what you have seen and experienced on a higher level, now you can better position yourself to make moves in the physical realm, which leads to you having a charismatic and a spellbinding personality. Let me let y'all see that a little further. What gives, I believe this is like a lizard. What gives the lizard the art of charisma and the ability to spellbind people with their personality is because they are connected to their cosmic origins. So hopefully that's making sense. Now this is going directly into what I'm going to be talking about anyway with the sacred marriages. But let me see, I'm getting some comments, so let me make sure that I'm keeping up. What's up? What's up? You already know. What happens when somebody that is awakened dies? What's up, Marvin and Magi? What happens when you die, when you spiritually awaken? It all depends on what level they on. Like, just because you are aware of your spiritual origins don't necessarily mean that you're going to go somewhere spiritual when you die. It's based on how much work you put in. That determines where you go. It's all depend on your work. It depends on your labor. You must labor to go to the higher worlds, to be able to not have to reincarnate. That's through labor. You can know that you God, but you still have to put in work. So don't get it twisted. Just because you may be awakened, you still every single day have to labor and put in work. You know what I mean? You're not excused just because you know who you are. That just further motivates you to constantly and continuously on an everyday basis putting in work, just like everybody else do anyway. Like every day you got to get up and clock into the 9 to 5 anyway. So just that same dedication you have, because you know you got to pay your rent, you know you got to feed your kids, that same motivation you have to do things on the physical plane anyway, you have that same motivation when it comes to your spiritual work, because you know that this work doesn't stop when you die. You take these dynamics to the next world or to the next realm. So a person who is spiritually awakened, it is because that they were already putting in the work previously. You know what I mean? That's why you have people that's not spiritually awakened, because they have not put in the work in a past life. So the only reason you are awake in this life is because you put in some level of work in the past life, and it awakened within you at a particular time. Some people is in their teenage years, some people is in their young adulthood, some people is a little bit later on, but at some point you was putting in some type of spiritual work to even be enlightened at this point. But that just further motivates you to constantly go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. It's just easier for you to grasp this time around. The first time it may be a little hard in terms of you in the past life, you know, you trying to gather this information, but now that you already have a sense of spirituality, it should be a lot more easier for you to navigate. So let me put on another song here. Let's see what we got. We got this. All right, let me see what's up. What's up, Inquisitor? What about someone who is enlightened? Well, I guess I just answered that question before I saw your comments. So I guess I just answered that. So, going into sacred marriages, what is a sacred marriage? What is the point? How do you do it? You know, so on and so forth, right? A sacred marriage is being married to a spirit, to a deity, to a demon, or to an angel, however you call it. Now, why would a person want to engage in a sacred marriage? A person will engage in a sacred marriage to pretty much, this is what this is all about. That's why I'm actually glad this card came up, because this basically, engaging in sacred marriages help you to pull down spiritual information because you have direct contact with deities. So this ain't just something that you just, you put items on your altar, or you doing, you working with herbs, or you smoking up, whatever it is. This is taking it to the next level. This is actually engaging in a marriage with a deity so that you can have union with this deity. So in terms for information, for sexual pleasure, for just genuine companionship, not genuine, or genuine, not genuine, genuine companionship. Now, for example, this is really for all my single people out here, all the people who are single, all the people who may be spiritual, but they're like, yo, I don't see spiritual people, in my city, or I'm not in contact with spiritual people. This is for you. This is for the people who, again, who's going through this world, who may feel alone, who may feel like, yo, nobody understands me, all that stuff, all those emotions. So you engage in sacred marriages. The reason you engage in a sacred marriage is because, once again, this gives you the ability to have that companionship spiritually. You know what I mean? So that way you don't have to worry about messing with people of a lower vibration, somebody messing up your spirit, somebody messing up your energy. You messing with people who you shouldn't really be messing with. This shuts all that down, because you don't have, now that you know better, you don't have to engage. Just because, you may have sexual fantasies and all that, and you want to fulfill things. Now you don't ever have to lower your standards, because you can work directly with deities. Now, you can say, well, what deities? What deities is up to you. Whatever deity that you feel drawn to, whether man or woman, it doesn't matter. Whatever deity you feel drawn to, you can engage in a sacred marriage and become married to this deity, because like, all right, I'm not trying to have sex on this plane anyway at this particular time of my life. Therefore, instead of just walking around somewhere celibate and not utilizing your sex force, not utilizing your Kundalini, you have a deity that will help your Kundalini to rise up. Because this is exactly what you're doing. So you basically are making the decision to give up physical sex and physical companionship to work directly with deities for that companionship, for that information, for that knowledge, for that wisdom, and for that understanding. Because you can't get it from anybody on a physical plane. So again, everybody's going to be on their spiritual journey in their own particular way. But I'm just opening your mind up to make you realize that you don't have to ever settle for less. You don't have to, you may be a man. And again, we all have urges. We all have sexual urges. But we don't have to walk around, trying to look for what's the best stock to engage with. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that. Or you don't got to go around trying to seek out a wife, because who knows how long that may take. You don't know when you're going to, run into your partner. So in the meantime, you have the opportunity to engage in a sacred marriage so that you can actually cultivate your spirit and have more spiritual experiences and do what you need to do for your own soul without having to lower your standards. So this is just me opening up your ideas, opening up your mind so that you can realize that, you don't have to do this by yourself. A lot of people feel alone. You do not have to do this by yourself. Most of the time, it's a lot of deities already coming to people in their dreams, but because people are not awakened enough in the dream world, they don't realize it. Again, you have some people call it, okay, let me show you the difference, because it is a difference between a sacred marriage and engaging in sex with an incubus or a succubus. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not. Because those are like lower entities. I'm talking about divine entities. I'm talking about the Urzulis. I'm talking about the Venuses. I'm talking about the Aphrodites. I'm not talking about these little spirits just roaming around, with a horn, that's horny. I'm not talking about those lower entities. I'm talking about divine energy. Let me put on another song here. But Those incubus and succubus only really mess people who, you know what I mean, who already have all these sexual urges and feelings, and they may be messing with other people in the physical world, so their energy may be low already because they're settling for less. But if you want the best, if you don't want to settle for less, if you want the supreme, then you can engage in actual deities who have power, who can actually show you. Again, these deities are ageless, just like you are ageless, just like they are just as old as your soul. So you engage and you're not engaging with these low-level entities. Don't even worry about them. Let me see. I got any more new music? I just uploaded a new song like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I don't know. So I just uploaded a song a couple days ago. Just go back in the archive. Let me see. And how can you get married with a deity? First and foremost, this is why you put in the work. Meaning they're already coming to you. Just most people are not aware because they're not putting in enough spiritual work. Meaning you need to build up your energy. Build up your energy so that you can see them. See, most of the time, most people are invisible to deities. Let me make this clear. Most deities can't even see the average person because they engage in their foolery. It don't matter if you're spiritual or not. Most people, again, you have a lot of spiritual people engaging in foolery. You know what I mean? They may be spiritual, but because they may feel lonely, they still engaging with people of a low level because for companionship or for friends or whatever. They're lowering their standards. So they don't allow their energy to build up. So you need to build up your energy so that you can be seen by them. How do you build up energy? You have to put in work. Now, what do I mean by putting in spiritual work? Now, that's different for everybody. You must do it in your way. Let me give you an example. Give me 1 second. So an example will be, let's just say you have a dream, right? You have a dream, and you see somebody that's familiar, right? Let's just say you have a dream, and you dream about, let's just say, your friend, your close friend, and they're in the dream with you, and you're, you know what I mean, like y'all are communicating, you know, y'all doing what y'all doing in the physical world, whatever. But that's not your friend. That's the image of your friend, or the image of your lover, or the image of whoever it may be. So that you can say that's a deity disguised in the form of somebody you are familiar with, because they're not going to show you their true form because you're not ready to see it. You have to constantly build up your energy. So whenever these deities come to you, they're going to come to you in a form that's familiar to you. So that, again, that may be in the form of a rapper or a singer or an entertainer, somebody who's already familiar to you. So they're coming to you in a form that's familiar to you. And once you realize that, like, okay, this, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this ain't just my friend invading my dreams or nothing like that. It ain't nothing like that going on. This is an actual deity, you know, trying to connect with you. So you need to discover who is the deity. You know what I mean? How do you do this? This is why you study. This is why you study spirits. This is why you study. This is why you have an encyclopedia of deities, so that you can identify these beings when they come to you. If you have no idea what the spirits are because you have not studied enough, then you can't identify who they are. You need to be studied. You need to be well studied so that you can identify the deities when they come to you, so you can be able to put 2 and 2 together. So I encourage everybody, get you an encyclopedia of spirits and read. Ikra, Ikra, Ikra. Read. And the more you read, the more you become familiar with different deities, the more you will be able to make sense of what's happening in your dreams, because now you have the information to put 2 and 2 together. Let's continue. Let me put on another beat. Give me 1 second. Let's see what we got. How does Kundalini factor into this? Because the deities help you raise up your Kundalini, because you're no longer draining your energy with nonsense. You know, with things that don't serve you spiritually. You don't drain your energy from just doing things that has nothing to do with spirituality. Let me see. You had a dream about a red-haired girl and you felt the connection. Never saw her before, but you felt the connection. So now you need to find out who that deity is. You need to find out who is this red-headed deity. You need to find that out. And once you identify, because there are deities who are red-headed, but you have to study. You have to study and figure that out. See, this is what I mean. So when you study and you find out what deity that is, then you know, okay, they're trying to connect with me. But now, once they connect with you, you have to get that energy back. You have to acknowledge them like they acknowledge you. Again, it's a two-way street. They can't do all the work. They can't force anything on you. Because again, we're not talking about low-level succubus and incubus. We're talking about divine energy. So they're not going to force anything on you, just like you can't force nothing on them. So it has to be a two-way street. But again, so you have to put in that necessary work to study to identify who they are. Let me see. What's the best method of study? Get you an encyclopedia of deities. Get you an encyclopedia with all type of deities from all around the world and study. Study every culture from all around the world, because you never know. You may have a Chinese deity that comes to you. You may have a South American deity. You may have a European deity. It could be anyone depending on who you are, depending on your bloodline, depending on your lineage, depending on your heritage. Because again, we all come from all around the world. So it may be, the deity may come to you because that's in your bloodline. It may be an Inca deity because you are connected with the Inca people. So that deity comes to you because that's what you're connected with through the blood, even though you may not know that on a conscious level. But they just letting you know, like, yo, this is your heritage. That's why I'm coming to you in this form, because this is who you are. So again, everybody is different. So you must study, so that when they come to you, you can identify them and you can put the pieces together. Okay, but why this Chinese deity coming to me? Why is this Egyptian deity coming to me? Why is this Canaanite deity? Why is this Babylonian deity coming to me? There is always going to be a connection, because again, everything is happening within us. So there is no mistakes made. They're not just coming to you haphazardly. There is a reason why certain deities want to come to you. But again, you must study, so that you can find out who and what they are. Let us continue. Let's see what we got. Let me see. If it's not too much to ask, do you have any pacts or relationship with any spirits in particular, perhaps the ones you work with for an extended period of time? Yes, indeed. Yeah, I do. That's why I'm speaking from experience. Not just, you know what I mean? Again, I will never speak about something that I don't know personally. I will never speak about something that I never experienced. So I know this for sure. That's why I'm imparting this information to you. This ain't something I just read in a book. This came directly from spirit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is, let people know that they don't have to settle for less no more. That they don't have to engage in these low-level entities. That they don't have to engage with these human beings on a savage level. You don't have to leave all that alone. Cut those motherfuckers out of your life, spiritually, mentally, and physically. They don't serve you. Raise up to your divine being, your divine level. Right? Peace. Why is this the last live stream? I see you, Becca. I appreciate the $5 donation. Salute to you, everybody that support, because y'all already know this is a give and receive. So much respects to you. You already know. You know what I mean? Much respects to you. Why is this the last live stream? I told y'all that in the beginning of the video, but if you wasn't here, I assume you wasn't. Let me say it again. I'm going to take time out and put some plays in motion. I'm going to take time out, put some plays in motion so that I can show forth more, so that I can do more. Again, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure y'all getting tired of me just speaking outside the door. You know what I mean? I'm going to put some plays in motion so that I can do more, so that we can, you know, elevate. It's all about elevation. So I can show y'all some more fly shit. So you know what I mean? So we can be on our grown man and we can be on our grown women. I can show y'all some plays, you know what I mean? Enough of this kiddish shit, enough of this childish shit. Again, you know what I mean? That's why I'm suited up. You know what I mean? I got slacks on. We gonna be on our grown men. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna show y'all that shit. It's just time for graduation. If we want to just cut it, just make it simple and plain, it's time for graduation. It's just time for graduation. You know, we are maturing in our spirituality. And again, I'm just being somebody who's showing the way. It's just time to mature. It's just time to stop doing things haphazardly, things happening we don't understand, that we forget, and nothing is set in motion. You know what I mean? So it's just time for graduation. That's all it is. We graduating right now. Just graduation. I was wondering if I mentioned the names. Yeah, I've mentioned the names. I said the name. So you just gotta catch it. The deities I mentioned in my example are the ones I'm connected with. But again, you gotta be quick. So I mentioned it already. What's good? What's good, Leandro? What's the deal? What's the deal? So once again, cut off incubus, succubus, low level human beings. Game over for that. Game over. Game over. Again, watch my video, The Secret of the Number 23. Eris. That's the goddess, right? The goddess Eris. E-R-I-S. The goddess of discord. You know what I mean? So you can say this is the message from her. You know what I mean? She's speaking through me. Whatever, again. I try not to get too spooky because people get thrown off. I'm trying to just speak directly as I can and be practical and give y'all a guideline. And again, I'm not telling you step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 because we're all different. We're all in different situations. You are Aries, you know what I mean? Shout out to all my Aries. You know what I mean? Shout out to every zodiac sign. Shout out, you know, again, I don't identify people by their zodiac sign, but you know, that's just me personally. We're more than just our sun sign. We're more than just our sun sign. So, you know, I don't limit myself or anybody else to just their sun sign. But that's just me personally. What's up? What's up? I see you. What is it? Owa? Or Loa X? Yeah, what's up, Loa X? I see you. I appreciate the $2 donation. SVM CEO. You one of the realest niggas on YouTube, you already know. You already know. That's because what makes a person real is because they speak truth. And what allows a person to speak truth is them being honest with themselves. You know what I mean? So because I'm honest with myself, again, that's like I didn't have to share this information because this is, you know, something I do personally. These are things that I do personally. But so everything I speak about in every video, as I see, all I give is personal experience. And for those, you know, everybody's always, well, what book, and I always give out books. So I read too, but it's mostly personal experience, you know what I mean? So be real with yourself, speak truth. Speak truth. When you speak truth, the voice of wisdom will speak through you. Always speak truth. And always be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, speak truth, and you will be alright. You know what I mean? You had a dream about me a couple weeks ago. Well, you know, hit me up. You can hit me up in my email, you know, if you don't want to reveal that. If you don't want to reveal that, I'm not asking nobody to share their personal stories if they don't want to. But if you want me to know, you know, just hit up my email and you can share the story. And, you know, I can give you further insight if you want it, or if you just letting me know, you know, that it probably was just a random dream. You know what I mean? However it is. But I'm definitely an avatar of a particular deity as well. And I'm not saying that egotistically. I'm just saying that because that's what was revealed to me. So I may come in the form of somebody else's dream just as an avatar to a higher deity. You know what I mean? So whatever that higher deity is, I can let you know if you want to know. Again, if not, if you just sharing the story, peace to you. You know, I see you, Oshun. Let me see what else we got. What else we got? Let's keep the ball rolling. Okay, we can play this. All right. Do I use tarot cards to boost spell work? For example, putting the lover card under 7-day candle for love, or maybe the Ace of Wands for a booty call? Nah, not really. I don't, you know, I used to use the tarot a lot more than I did now. So in my beginning stages, I did do things like that. In my beginning stages, yes. So I was using the tarot for everything. Every single day I was doing a daily reading. I wouldn't leave the house without doing the tarot reading. You know, when I was learning the tarot. So every day I would just be doing readings, trying to learn the tarot and get familiar with it in my early years. But nowadays, not so much. You know what I mean? Like the cards, I only pull them out, you know, just to do videos, or when I'm really trying to, you know, it's like special occasion. Because everything is within. I try not to depend too heavy on tools. So candles, tarot cards, herbs. I try not to depend too heavy on tools. You know, I try to keep everything up here. I try to keep everything memorized by heart. Keep it up here as well as in here. You know what I mean? So I try not to get too attached to the tools, because I know that I give the tools power. The tools don't have power without me. I give the tools power. So all the power is coming from within myself. So I don't really depend too heavy on the tools. I more so, you know, seek spiritual revelations. That's another thing I want to speak about. Spirit speaks through revelation. And again, that's all I reveal. That's why I have so many personal experience, because the spirit will reveal certain things to you when you are in tune. That way, again, you don't have to depend on certain tools or whatever. So, for example, let's just say, since you asked a question, so how would I do with things? Like, so how would I have a revelation? Or how would, let's just say I did want a booty call or whatever, you know, for those who may want it, who may be on that level. Nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. You know, I would just, mostly I just use breathing exercises. I'm like, okay, well, women are naturally attracted to masculine energy, correct? So therefore, if I want to attract women, I have to increase my masculine energy. In order for me to increase my masculine energy, the masculine energy is found within the chi, or is found within the prana, or the real, or the ki, or true. You know, it's many different ways. Energy, right? Masculine energy is within all, you know, is generated from the life. So therefore, I have to breathe more through my right nostril. This is the positive side. This is the negative side. This is the masculine side. This is the feminine side. If I want to increase my masculine energy, I have to make sure I'm breathing more through my right nostril. If I want to increase my feminine energy for spiritual work, you know, for dream work, for spells and all that, then I breathe through my left nostril. You know what I mean? So I try to keep it as simple as possible. It's not complex at all. You know, again, we're just in the age of information, so everybody wants to seem more complicated than it's necessary. So I just try to keep it simple as possible. Just everything is found in the breath. Everything is found within the life that's generated naturally every day all around us. You know, so hopefully I made that as simple as possible. And again, if you are a woman, just increase your feminine energy if you want to attract masculine energy. Simple as that. You know, we don't have to make it too complicated at all. Yo, what's up? What's up? Yo. I see you. Was it Victorious Media? I see you. How can you contact Aphrodite through astral projection, or ritual or chant? It's the energy of Venus. So however, you can use a mantra clean, K-L-E-E-M. That's Venus, that's Aphrodite. So K-L-E-E-M. So chant clean. Then Aphrodite would definitely, you know, that's her vibration, or that's her frequency. So, you know what I mean? Again, I just, simple answers. You know what I mean? We ain't got to make nothing too complicated. You got to get this candle, do this, light this at 12 a.m. We ain't got to do all that. You know what I mean? Just keep it simple, keep it basic. Just break it down to a mantra, break it down to a thought form, break it down to a number, you know, or break it down to a mantra. You know what I mean? We can keep it, just keep it like that. Simple and plain. You used to depend a lot on crystals, but you learn how to get away from them and go more within. I'm on that same tip, you know what I mean? I'll probably only own about maybe 3 or 4 crystals. I don't even have, you know, I gave all my crystals away. I don't even have crystals. I only have maybe 3 or 4, and I only work with like maybe 1 at a time for a specific reason. So yeah, I just started putting all the tools down. You know what I mean? I just started putting all the tools down, because eventually, you know, you just get to the level where you just want to. You want to try things in a different fashion. You know what I mean? Again, you just don't want to be too dependent on anything. Because what happens if you lose your tarot deck? What happens if you lose your crystals? You know what I mean? But you still are the supreme being, right? You still are a divine being. So you never truly lose anything. Let's see, Catholic nuns becoming bride of Christ. Is that on the same level of a sacred marriage? I would say that's on a lower level. But yes, that is an example, but that's on a lower level because they're not, you know what I mean? We already know the whole confusion with Jesus and all that. So the Jesus that they're connected with is not actually Jesus. That's not, you know, that. So we ain't got to get into that. I spoke all about Jesus and the true history and all that. So yes, that is a form, but they're using the image that has been fabricated. That's not actually attached to the actual deity of the real Jesus. But yes, that is an example for those who need a practical example. Yes, a nun. That's exactly what nuns do, but they just do it on a low level because they don't really have no true knowledge like that. You know what I mean? Because where would they get it from? Unless they are truly studied more than what the religion is teaching. Let's see what we got. We're going to keep it going, keep it going. Let me see. We'll play this. What else? Yo, I should see what you just said about breathing through the right or left. What's the best way to build both energies? More exercise, as that creates more breathing. Let me turn this down a little bit. Turn this down. What's the best way to build both energies? Build one at a time. That's what you do. Build one at a time. So take half of the day, build up your masculine energy, then the other half of the day, build up your feminine energy. What I do personally is during the day, I have my masculine energy building up. Then when I go into the dream world, when I'm about to go to sleep for the night, then I enhance my feminine energy for dream work. Then I enhance my masculine energy for anything physical. But that's my personal thing. What I do, you know, you can try different variations to see what works best for you. So I wouldn't say do it both at the same time. Do one at a time so that you can get familiar with both energies separately. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to do both, you're not really getting a sense of what's happening or what you need to lower, what you need to raise up. It all depends on the situation, you know. How's the motivate? Did you hold on to it? Yeah, the motivate. I still do have the motivate. You know, I got the motivate, and I probably have maybe 1 or 2 crystals. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all I have. So yeah, I still got the motivate. That's really it. You know what I mean? I really don't have that many crystals at all, but I do still got that motivate piece. So again, appreciate you once again, Ian. You know what I mean? Ian definitely showed a lot of love when I went to DC. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to you, homie. You know what I mean? We was in below freezing degree weather. You know what I mean? So I appreciate homie much because he came out with me in DC and we was freezing. But he didn't complain. He was a G with it. You know what I mean? He was a G with it. So salute to you. You know what I mean? He showed love. So it's all love, man. It's all love. Because nobody else is doing that. Everybody else is all warm in their house. He came out in below freezing degree weather. You know what I mean? And showed love. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. So salute to you. Special salute to you, homie. Peace. What's up, Moon Spirit? What's up? What's my viewpoint on divine timing? Some say things happen when they are meant to happen, but as humans, we are impatient and want things ASAP. Okay, so let me give you my opinion on that. Divine timing. Well, first and foremost, we are not human. You know, okay, let me speak a little bit more clearly. We are spirits having a human experience, but we don't really label ourselves as humans. We're having a human experience, but that's temporary. So let me lay this foundation. So the divine timing is just having the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of astrology. That's how the ancients told time, using the art and the science of astrology and astronomy. Astrology and astronomy, because again, you have the metaphysical people or the spiritual people, they bear witness to astrology, but they may not study astronomy. Then you have the scientists who study astronomy, but they don't acknowledge astrology. You put those two together. When you put astrology and astronomy together, then you can get a sense of what divine timing is, because now you can track the movements of the stars and the planets, so on and so forth. So you would know, okay, just like the seasons, we got 4 seasons, right? So you know with certain things that you should do in certain seasons, and other seasons that it's not so good to do these things, right? So when we track the movement of the stars, you will know when it's time to do certain things, because you already know. Again, for example, let's just say Neptune. Let's just say Neptune is in Aries, right? It's a particular thing that you should do when Neptune is in Aries, just like it's a particular thing you should do when Neptune is in Pisces. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. So as we study the movement of the stars, there's a specific thing that you should be doing depending on what the alignments are. So that's divine timing. Divine timing is being in alignment with the movement of the stars. So with the humans, you know, wanting things ASAP is because, you know what I mean, they don't, you know, we feel like that's just a person being too emotional. You know, if you want to slow down, because again, a lot of people feel like, yo, they're hasty, they're impatient, right? You want to slow yourself down. That's why you meditate. Just chill, meditate, listen to the spirit. And the spirit will just let you know, like, yo, you can do things right now. You just have to do the right things right now. Pay attention to the movement of the stars. Gaze into the movement of the stars. Stargaze, because, you know, we have a lot of people that sun gaze. Stargaze. And as you stargaze, you will be revealed, certain information will be revealed to you, what you should be doing at that particular time based on the movements. Because again, as I said, astrology and astronomy. However, there are people who are more intuitive, who are more into divination. So you can stargaze and you can receive information from the stars about, you know, what's the best thing you should be doing depending on the stars. You know, a lot of people be seeing shooting stars. For those who see shooting stars, it's because they stargaze. You're not going to see shooting stars if you don't stargaze. So I would encourage everybody, if you want to be more in tune with your divine time, and start to stargaze and allow the voice of wisdom to speak to you through stargazing. Okay? So hopefully that answered the question. Let me see. I believe you told me that in order to connect with a deity, you have to access that part of your mind that the entity represents. Are we all the entities at once? Yes. All entities represent a different aspect of the brain. That's why I believe, who said it? I believe it was Albert Einstein. If I'm incorrect, then correct me. He said that we only use 10% of the brain. That's basically what he's talking about. So that other 90% is these deities. So the 10% is basically how is human. So that, I'll say that. So that's a good example. I'm glad you brought that up. So because most people only use 10% of their brain, that's the human experience. So you only need 10% of your brain to live through this human experience. That's just how complex the brain is, that you only need 10% of it to go about the human experience. That other 90% is getting into your spirituality, connecting with deities and doing different types of divination, so on and so forth. That's tapping into the other 90% of your brain. So yes, because everything is within us. We are projecting everything from within us. Everything that we see is a projection from within. So when you work with deities, when you do spirituality, that's just tapping into the other 90% of your brain that's not active. I'm not going to say it's not active, it's just unconscious. You know, so you're making the unconscious conscious, or you're making the unknown known when you tap into that other 90%, which is spirituality. You know what I mean? So hopefully that makes sense. Now, hold on, let me grab this card. Alright. Put these up. So yeah, you know, again, you know, we get, it's so much information all over the place. It's just scattered. So all I'm attempting to do is to bring all this information together. That's all I'm attempting to do, because, you know, you may study here, study there, study there. This person is saying that, that person is saying that, and it seems as if they are contradicting each other, but they're really not. We just have to, you know, properly put these things together. Wonder what atomic clocks did to the concept of time connected with practical physics. Well, the atomic clocks, you know, it's, again, we all have an internal clock. We know that. We all have internal clocks. Meaning we are living astrology. We are living astronomy. All within. Again, everything is a projection. This is a holographic universe. Again, for those who don't understand that concept, read the book, The Holographic Universe, so that you can understand that all this is a projection from within. That's why the internal clock is the true clock. So although we have these clocks on our wrists and all this, and you know, that's just tracking the movement of the sun. That's all the clock does. The clock is just a sundial. That's all it is. It's just tracking the movement of the sun. But you got a lot of more. What is tracking the movement of the moon? What is tracking the movement of Mars? What is tracking the movement of Mercury? What is tracking the movement of Polaris? What is tracking the movement of Draco? So on and so forth. But all these is tracked within us. They can be connected with, you know, the cycles of the human body. We have 7 systems, right? So we can connect the spiritual science with the practical science when we study the human bodies. That's why it says, man and woman, know thyself. When you know yourself, all this stuff makes perfect sense. But if you're trying to learn all this stuff without knowing yourself, it's not going to make no sense. You're not going to be able to connect the dots. So again, this time is just tracking the movement of the sun. That's it. But if you want to know the movements of things beyond the sun, then you must study yourself. And when you study yourself, all things outside of you make sense. That's why I personally feel that we are all the zodiac signs. That's why I constantly say we are not just our sun signs. We are the whole zodiac. Whether you look at it from the 12 signs or the 13. We are all the zodiac signs, and we can tap into any aspect of the zodiac at will, because we are not separate. You may be a sun Aries or a sun Pisces. Does not mean that you can't tap into Taurus. Doesn't mean you can't tap into Libra. Doesn't mean you can't tap into the Leo. You can tap into all these energies. All these energies we can tap into. So essentially, you're supposed to transcend what you feel that you are. We are not, the zodiac just gives you your foundation. Your zodiac gives you your foundation, but your zodiac doesn't tell you where you end up. Your zodiac tells you, or your natal chart tells you where you begin, but the natal chart doesn't tell you where you end. So you start off. The natal chart is the foundation, but the natal chart doesn't tell you where you end up. That's why you get your natal chart done. You get your natal chart done to understand your foundation so that you can grow from it. You can transcend it. But without that foundation, then you can't transcend if you don't understand the foundation. So once again, you know what I mean? For whatever services y'all want, you know, just hit up my email, you know what I mean? I can take care of you. For those who want those type of services. Man, it gives you your foundation so that you can ultimately transcend it. What should we be doing according to astrology right now? Well, what season are we in? I believe we just went to another zodiac sign, right? I think we're in Gemini now, because we just came out of Taurus into Gemini. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we just entered into Gemini based on the sun. That's another thing, right? That's really just tracing the movements of the sun. That's why, again, people identify by their sun sign. That's why we have, this is all the sun. But do not limit yourself to the sun. That's the whole thing. That's why I say you are more than your zodiac. So based on astrology right now, so the sun is going through Gemini currently. So we know Gemini is the twin soul. Let me actually pull out the Gemini card from this deck to give you all a better perspective, since we're in Gemini. So let me pull out the card that represents Gemini. And you are from the major arcana and the minor arcana. Because the major arcana, let me just pull out these cards. So give me 1 second. Let me pull out these cards and let me give you a perspective of Gemini. Give me 1 second so I can get these cards. So that's the card, the Lovers. So you have the Lovers, and you also have cards that represent Gemini and the minor arcana. And I'm going to show you all those cards right now. So give me 1 second. Put all this so we can see what we should be doing right now. Gemini. Make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, I got the Gemini cards and the minor arcana, and now I'm just looking for the lover card. Give me 1 second. Where's the lovers? Okay, here we go. Okay. So Gemini in the major arcana is the Lover's card, which it says twin soul reverence, right? The minor arcana, Gemini is the 8, the 9, and the 10 of swords. So let me give you all a closer look at all these cards. This is the 8 of swords. The 9 of swords. And the 10 of swords. Now these cards on the surface appear to be negative, right? You know, a lot of mental, you know what I mean, scattered thoughts and all that, but let's make sense out of all that right now. So, 1 second. Excuse me. So we got the lovers, right? Somebody asked me earlier, what does Kundalini have to do with all this? Right? You see the Kundalini energy right here. So we got the Kundalini energy starting off as a serpent, right? This Kundalini energy started off as a serpent, but it ends up as that. You can call it that, whatever bird you want to call it. You know, the hawk, whatever you want to call it, right? The dove, right? So it starts off as a serpent. So we all start off, you know, crawling on our belly, you know, as a child, or, you know, again, somebody who doesn't have their emotions control, who doesn't have their mental control. Since we're dealing with Gemini, it's more mental. So you can say this is mentally. When people are mentally confused, they tend to do things based off of their emotions, tend not to think all the way through. But once it transcends, you become both. So now again, we're going through this reality, looking at things as they are separate. Or the man is separate from the woman is separate from the man. We are the opposite sex. You know, the law of polarity, right? Or the law of gender. You know what I mean? However, it comes a certain point where the two becomes one. The two becomes one, right? In terms of there's no separation. So let's keep that in mind, the two becoming one. So now let's look at these manifestations in the minor arcana. So first we have the 8 of swords, which represent trapped, confined, I believe. Trapped, confined, right? Why does the 8 of swords represent trapped or confined? So we see that when we look at ourselves as separate, we are not connected to the universe. We are not connected with God. We are not God, right? You know, the average person thinks this. The average person looks at themselves as separate from everything. They are over here and they don't understand the concept of quantum entanglement. They don't understand the concept of quantum entanglement. So therefore, they see themselves as separate. So they may be this person in the middle, but they don't see their connection with the swords. Or they don't understand the concept of thoughts become things. In other words, thoughts become things, but they don't understand that concept. So they let their thoughts go, you know, go all over the place haphazardly. And it comes back to them because most people think negative, again, talk negative, talk shit about people, hate on people, doing things that they know they shouldn't be doing, engaging in activities that they know they shouldn't be engaging in. So it comes back to them and it starts to trap them and make them feel confined because they're, you know what I mean, they're not connecting the dots. They're not seeing that, yo, I'm causing this on myself. All this energy that I'm projecting out, all this hate, all this negative energy that I'm projecting out, it's coming back to me and it's causing me to be trapped. within my own thought streams. All right? The next card. That's what we got. The Nine of Swords, which is crucified, tortured. All right? So at this point, so this is the intro. So this is thoughts coming back to you. Once you get to the 9, now you see the swords has started to create fences. Right? Sacred geometry is going on, right? Because we know thoughts become things, right? Thoughts become things. Therefore, the swords, you see, it's kind of just elementary on this level. It's just swords. The swords is becoming a fence now. Now you're trapping yourself. Now you're crucifying yourself. Actually, now this becomes when a person starts to speak negative about themselves, because now that they're trapped, now they say, oh me, woe me, woe me, woe me. This is like a person who like, nothing good happens to me. Life is fucked up. I can't get the girl I want, can't get the man I want, can't get the job I want, you know, can't make the connections that I want, right? So now they start speaking negative about themselves. So that their self-talk becomes negative. So it started off being negative towards other people. Now they're being negative towards themselves. Now this is taking it to the next level. Now it's fenced. So they're fencing themselves, crucifying themselves. Now they're torturing themselves. Now it becomes self-torture because they're still seeing things as separate. They're not making the connection. And lastly, once we get to the 10, you get to a place where now you're just completely lost. That's why it says black cloud. And now you're just so clouded. Now you see this image is just blacked out. Now they have no sense of self. Now because they was torturing other people, they start to torture themselves. Now the ultimate manifestation is now you see that they have no sense of self, where they're completely lost. They're walking around here like a zombie, hating the world, hating themselves. Now it has merged together. Now they become a zombie, or they become completely clouded. They can't even think straight. They become mentally sick. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now you got to depend on what somebody else says. Now you got to go to the doctor. Now you're physically sick. Now you're mentally insane, and now you're spiritually cut off. Right? So you say now your spirituality is cut off. So as we see, all this is a manifestation of us looking at things separate. Us hating our brother, us hating our sister, us hating our own kind. You know what I mean? Because we may not agree with what they're doing, but it's all aspects of ourselves. We are the lower and the higher, the left and the right, the inner and the outer. You know what I mean? Again, we are the serpent and the dove. That's this is why we don't cut off the sexual energy, we raise it up. This is what I'm saying. Like the example of a nun that was said earlier. See, the nuns cut themselves off sexually. They become celibate. That's the issue. As opposed to what I'm talking about when it comes to sacred marriages. I'm talking about actually engaging in sexual intercourse with spirits. I'm not saying cut yourself off sexually, but yes, engage sexually with spirits. Don't cut your sexuality off. Raise the Kundalini up. Don't cut the Kundalini off. Because when you cut it off, because when you look at that as a bad thing, when you look at this, the serpent is bad. The serpent likes to tempt. It tempt Eve and all that. When you're looking at it from that perspective, then that makes you want to cut off your sexual, energy. Like, I need to purify myself. I need to, let that go. When the energy just needs to be raised above. Again, this is the whole art of Tantra or Tantra. Not to cut off your sexuality, but to transcend the energy, to transmute the energy from a base level to a divine level. Alright? So, if we want to know what we should be doing in the time of Gemini, there you go. There we go. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me see. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense, you know what I mean? So unless anybody has any more questions, we're gonna get up out of here. So unless y'all have no questions, we get up out of here. Let me see. Is having sex with spirits the same as humans? It depends on the quality of the spirits. So yes, if you're having sex with incubus or succubus, yes, that's like the same with having sex with humans. So that's why I'm telling y'all, have sex with deities, with divine beings. Study, 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 study. Study them so that when they come to you, you can recognize them and that you can build the pact with them because you can identify who and what they are. Like I said, you know what I mean? So if you, okay, Venus is coming to me because I've been chanting clean. You can be a person that was chanting clean, 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 but you wasn't doing it to attract physical women, you was doing it to attract deity. So you say it before you go to sleep instead of saying it before you walk out the house. Again, etc., etc., etc. So this is why you do that. And again, some deities are different. So you have certain deities that when you engage in sacred marriages, they want you all to themselves. But then you have other deities that don't mind you, stepping out of the relationship every now and then. Every relationship is different, just like with everybody else. Some people don't mind having threesomes. With other people, they want they want to keep you to themselves. You know what I mean? So it all depends on who you are. Do you want to be more in an open relationship, or you don't mind being, completely loyal? That's all up for you to decide based on who you are, and what your intentions are. How do you cut sexual ties from spirits and people? Raise your vibration by studying it. Study, 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 study. Just reading raises your vibration. But if you're reading about spirituality and applying the spirituality, that further raises up your vibration. Now you're not thinking about lower vibrational beings because you're reading high vibrational information, which allows you to have a high vibrational experience. You know what I mean? So you have to put information in front of you to transcend. You know what I mean? You have to look at the actual experience and cultivate it. Cultivate a pact with the experience that you're actually having. You got to put in the work. That's what I'm saying. You got to put in the work. You got to read. Reading solves all problems. You know what I mean? But people just make excuses like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. That's an excuse. That's low vibrational thinking. You can't allow yourself to say like, yo, I don't have time. What exactly do you have to do? I don't care if a person works 12 hours. You still got 12 hours. I don't care if you have kids. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you put your mind to. And the only reason people feel clouded, like, no, I can't do it, I don't have time, because they're mentally scattered, as I just showed you with the Gemini cards. That's people who like, I don't have time, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't find the time. That's because your thoughts are too scattered. You need to organize your thoughts and create time. We can manipulate time. I told y'all about that before. You can manipulate time and you can create time. So if you don't have time, create the time. Organize your thoughts and be straightforward. Be truthful to yourself. Speak wisdom. And you have as much time as you need. Let me see. Much love and life will always bring the knowledge. You already know what it is. Was it Tamashi? I see you. No problem. Salute to you. Do you think humans are conditioned to be over-sexualized? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Or it's one extreme or the other extreme. Either you're over-sexualized or you're celibate. So, it's like go to church and be celibate and wait for a wife or wait for a husband or go out there and be promiscuous. It's like going from one extreme to the next. So, it's either over-sexual or under-sexual. And all I say is be in the middle. Find that middle point between sexuality and celibacy. But don't go from one extreme to the next extreme, because that's what most people do. They go from one extreme to the next extreme. And I'm saying, find that middle point. Find the middle point. Got to cut the TV off. It ain't even really about the TV. It's the internet too. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not really watching TV as much because you got Netflix, you got YouTube, you got Hulu. You know what I mean? You got all these. You don't even have to even watch TV no more. It's all about. You can actually watch whatever you want to watch. Like we just say, whatever low vibrational show, you can watch whatever you want. Some people consider porn low vibrational. You need to cut off the porn, cut off the porn, cut off the porn. I would say watching porn is better than having sex with low vibrational demons. I would tell somebody, if you having problems, you know, cutting off the people, start off with use porn as a medium so that you don't go out here doing things you shouldn't be doing, or you're actually trying to cut off. Use porn to like, all right, you don't need to go out there and do nothing with women. You know, satisfy and please yourself, and that goes into engaging in sacred marriages with spirit. You know what I mean? So it's levels to it. So again, you may to cut out the people, you may just want to start with porn, and before then after that, or you can just go cut out the people and go straight to the sacred marriages. Whatever works for you. Find out what works for you. You know. So again, it's deeper than the TV. It's your mind. Your mind transcends all at all times. So just utilize this. Most people are not utilizing this because their mind is too scattered again. So we're in a time of Gemini, so I just showed y'all. This is how you organize your thoughts. Stop spewing out negativity towards others, and don't look at yourself as a victim. You know, don't talk bad about yourself. Always lift yourself up. Be your own best friend. And even if you see it. So again, that's what I mean. It ain't even about cutting the TV off. It's about just not feeling no type of way about it. You got people who watch shows, then complain about what they're watching. Or look at these ratchets. Look at these stupid ass niggas. Look at what they're doing. No, if you watch it, then watch it and enjoy it and laugh at it. It's all about the energy you put into it. It ain't even about what you watch. It's about the energy that you give it. Don't watch something just to complain about what you're watching. Watch it for, if you want to watch it for pure entertainment, then let it be pure entertainment. But don't spew all this energy towards it because it's not necessary. Let's see. Isn't that incubus stuff when you jack off to porn? Not necessarily. You know what I mean? Because you are in control of what you watch. Meaning, you know what I mean? If you like, you know, women with, you know, big breasts, then that's what you type in. If you like the big ass, that's what you type in. If you like the cute face, that's what you type in, and vice versa for the women. You are in control of what you see. You know what I mean? So like, you are in control of the whole thing, as opposed to somebody is coming to you. Or energy or entity is coming to you. They're not coming to you. Like, you're typing it in. You are in full control. And I would say that's just a medium. Once you cut the porn off, now you utilize your imagination. So I guess I skipped that part, right? So you start with people, cut off the people, then you may have to start watching porn. Cut off the porn, use your own imagination. Cut off the porn, now utilize your own imagination. Most people's minds are not vivid enough. So porn is just there because their imagination is cut off. Build up your imagination so that you can utilize your imagination. Then you engage in sacred marriages if you choose, you know? So it's just a medium, it's just steps. Like, I'm not going to tell somebody, you know, stop having sex and go directly to a sacred marriage. That's a little bit too far, you know? I mean, just like I'm not expecting people to stop cold turkey. It takes time, especially if you want to make this a lifestyle. You know, you have to give yourself time to adapt. Give yourself at least 21 days to even adapt to the new thing. You know, but if you go cold turkey, you're more likely to relapse because you're not, you know what I mean, you didn't give yourself enough time to cultivate that. We'll see. So we might as well just will ourselves with our minds without crystals and external stuff. That's the goal. But if you need to utilize that for now, then utilize it for now. So if you are a person that needs tools, use them. But eventually you transcend the tools. But if that's where you are right now, that's perfectly fine. But the ultimate goal is to transcend the tools. But if you need to use them, then use them. Use them when you need to. But the ultimate goal is to realize that the power is within you, not the tool. So use them when you need to use them. But the ultimate goal is to eventually cultivate your own power. Because again, the tools are just showing you about you. Is that not the case? The tarot is just showing you what's going on within you. The tarot is not separate from us. The tarot is us. We are the tarot. We are the Kabbalah. We are the living Kabbalah. We are the living Kabbalah. We are the living Bible. We are the living Quran. You know? The books just tell you about you. What else is it telling you about? That's the whole point. So when is it incubus type shit? It's only when energy is coming towards you and you can't identify it. That's what I'm saying. But again, it's when a person's thoughts are scattered, that's what attracts lower entities and vibrations. Is because a person's energy is too scattered. That's all it is. But when your mind is organized, you don't attract low vibrational beings because you are straightforward. You are one pointed in your thinking. It's only when your energy is scattered over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. Then they can just seep in real easy because you have no defense because all your energy is being drained from being too scattered. So bringing that energy to one single point and project it, you know? For those who don't understand that, watch my video I made called The 9 Elements of Black Magic. I talk about all that, how to organize your thoughts and how to be one point in your thinking. 9 Elements of Black Magic. Any knowledge on Ireland history? Well, I'm definitely not the one to ask about Ireland history because I'm not in Ireland, you know? You can ask me about American history, but I'm not in Ireland, so you know what I mean? That's not my field of study. I wouldn't be the right person to ask, you know? Then what's the point of crystals? It's you. You are the point. The crystals just connect or help you activate powers within you. But again, let me paraphrase. Most people don't know the true science of crystals. Most people don't know what planet is connected with the crystal or what element the crystal is. They just look at the crystal. The crystal does this. They don't know what energy, what planetary energy is connected to. Because once you connect it with a planetary energy, you can connect it with a chakra. And when you can connect it with a chakra, you can connect it with a gland. And when you can connect it with a gland, you can connect it with a chemical. And when you can connect it with a chemical, then you know how to utilize your mind to stimulate that gland and to secrete chemicals into your bloodstream and have a particular experience. So there you go, from top to bottom, from bottom to top. So you got to know the whole process. Most people don't know the whole process. And because they don't know the whole process, that's why they're just utilizing these crystals and they really, you know, it just does this. Oh, this crystal heals you. This crystal helps open your third eye. Why? What planet is it connected with? What element? Because once you know the planet and the element, then you know, oh, I am the planet. I am the element. So the crystal is just activating things that are already within me. It's just stimulating my third eye, which is already within me. If the crystal is stimulating your third eye, which is already within you, do you really need the crystal? Because it's just stimulating energy that's already within you. But you don't need that crystal to stimulate it because it's already within you. You can do it with your mind. And that's what I mean. Too many people are connected with these tools, not utilizing their mind. They would rather use the crystal or the cards or this or that than activate what's already within you with your own mind. That's what I mean. Start to build up your imagination so that you can do that. But it's hard to do that when you depend on all these tools. You know? Let me see what we got. Let me see. We're going to stop this. We're going to play something else. Let's play something else. Give me 1 second. Let's play some Dedication 6. You already know. So again, you know, hit me with the questions. You know, hopefully I'm making myself clear. Hopefully this makes sense. But again, you know, I just come from a perspective. Ain't nobody else going to tell you the truth. That's why I tell the truth. Because again, everybody's trying to sell their products. They're trying to sell their crystals, trying to sell their tarot cards, so they're not going to tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. But I'm not trying to sell you anything other than things that's going to help you. You know? That's just what I do. That's my personal thing. What is planet Saturn's function? I think it's all about the things you physically do and you get rewarded. Yeah, Saturn is all about discipline, principles, character. Saturn helps you build up your character by building up your discipline. So Saturn is all about structure. Saturn's all about being able to structure all this matter. Right? So once you organize your thoughts, Saturn helps you to structure it and to shape it and mold it into something practical. So Saturn is all about giving shape to all this energy that's scattered. All the energy that's scattered helps you shape and mold the energy and make something out of it. You know what I mean? So Saturn is definitely all about business. You know, it's all about building up your character, building up who you are as a person. You know, being a person that's upright, being a person that, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't here to cause destruction or harm on nobody else, because you know how to build for yourself. You can do for self. So Saturn teaches you how to do for self, how to be more mature in your thinking, how to think bigger. Saturn teaches you how to think bigger. You know what I mean? Again, how to think more mature, how to be more grown up. So that's what Saturn is all about. You know, so a person that likes to be childish, or a person that doesn't want to grow up, or a rebel, or a renegade, then they hate Saturn. You know? How do we unscatter the mind? Again, watch my video on the 9 elements of black magic, as well as, again, this is why you fast. You fast for 24 hours, your thoughts, most of the time the mind is scattered is because our emotions are haphazardly running all over the place because there's so many chemicals in the food. So you may have to better your diet. Because when you don't eat for 24 hours and see how scattered your thoughts is. They ain't going to be scattered. See how scattered your emotions is. They're not going to be scattered. But when you're eating all over the place, that's what keeps everything scattered, because it's an imbalance within your chemical. It's a chemical imbalance, in other words. So scattered thoughts and scattered emotions is a chemical imbalance. So when you take the chemicals out of the body, then the chemical balance is there. Now you can chemically be balanced and you're not all over the place. Let me see. Okay, since I am on my conscious journey, I've never heard somebody spitting out things so straight and clear, man. You are my preacher. Because again, it take work. Again, you got all these other people. They not for the people. They may say, yeah, for the people, buy my product. It's like, fuck out of here. I have product. Again, I do natal charts. Numerology charts, tarot readings, consultations. I do all that, but that's for you. You know what I mean? I'm not selling anything. There is no ulterior motive. You know? But again, you can't really trust everybody else, because it's like you just don't know them. Like I have shown forth my spiritual work. You just go, I got 300 videos. So you see me putting in work. You see it. So I don't have to say it. But for somebody else, it's like, who knows what they've been doing before they were selling you products. You don't know what they do, in their everyday life. You really don't know who they are. But when that third eye is beaming, you know exactly who everybody is. But when you real about what you do, you don't have to lie, you don't have to cheat, you don't have to steal, you don't have to do nothing. But speak the truth, which is what wise men do, right? Speak truth. You don't have to lie, because when you lie, you create mishaps for yourself. You create, trouble for yourself. So when you see all these people getting into all this beef and all this drama, it's because they lie. When you lie, you put yourself in situations that's hard to get out of. But when you speak the truth, you don't feel the need to talk about nobody else. You don't feel the need to down nobody else. You know what I mean? You don't feel the need to do anything, that, just let them do them. That's what I'm telling y'all. Just let them do them. You don't have to speak negatively about nobody else, and you don't have to speak negatively about yourself. Just do you. Do you and be in your own lane. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? Let them do them. Let the unconscious people remain unconscious if that's what they want to do. Let the dead bury the dead, basically. That's it. Let the dead bury the dead. Let me see it. You tried to drop some knowledge on Kundalini on the Kevin Gates Instagram live. He knew about it but wasn't trying to elaborate. To each his own. So you know what I mean? People in the entertainment industry, they don't, you really can't get that out of them, because that's not really their field. You know what I mean? So to each his own. That's not really what they do. They're not there to talk about Kundalini. They're there to talk about, they're there to be entertainers. So you just got to keep people don't expect an entertainer to talk about spirituality, because that's just not what they're there to do. They're there to entertain. They're not there to awaken you. They're there to entertain, which is just fine. Because that's what they didn't. Kevin Gates never claimed to be a spiritual preacher. He's an entertainer, so let him be him. Now it would be different if he came out like, yo, I'm this and I'm that. But he never did. He never claimed to be that. He just claimed to be who he is. So let him be who he is. And that goes for anybody else. Let them be who they are. So don't, you shouldn't even be asking. Why would you even ask a person like that about Kundalini? That's not their field. Now again, they may know. I'm not saying that these people are dumb or ignorant, but that's just not what they have to do what they do. Everybody has a lane, so let them be in their lane. That's it. Just let them be in their lane. So much respect for him. You know what I mean? I have no problem with Kevin Gates. He just came out with a song called "Changing Lanes" or "Change Lanes." I rock with it. So again, it's no problem. It's no problem. Just let them be in their lane. You know what I mean? Let them be in their lane. They shouldn't even be asking about that. Let them do them. It is hard to be surrounded by people who are not on this path, but this is the hero's journey. Getting strong on the battlefield. Yeah, I don't know why you would even be surrounded by people not on the path. You shouldn't even be around people who's not on the path. If you don't have to. If you don't have to be, then you shouldn't be. Of course, you may have to go to work and be around a bunch of idiots who's spewing a lot of ignorance, but that's why you protect yourself. Build up your spiritual protection. Put in your mantras, put in your spiritual work, and again, your reality will change. Let me turn this down. So that's the thing. People feel like they have to be in situations. You don't. You have to constantly put in your own work so that you don't have to be around that. Instead of feeling like, oh, I have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with anything. Just put in the work so that you don't have to deal with it, so that you can be around people who's about that life or by yourself. I would prefer to be by myself. Let people do them. It is what it is, though. Is Shreen Brazil a Saturn chant? Nah, no. Shreen Brazil is more like a Venus chant. Only dude I see talking about is B.O.B. You seen what happened to B.O.B. You don't really hear too much about him no more, right? He kind of got blackballed for it. You know what I mean? So he has to deal with that. But again, he didn't start off like that. He started talking about that later on as he started getting information. He started putting it in his music. I believe he was the one who sparked the whole flat earth thing. You know what I mean? And now, everybody's talking about the flat earth. But when you have that type of power, you will be muzzled. You know what I mean? So now he's kind of muzzled. I believe, he had to delete his Instagram and put it back on and all that. So it's like people don't want to mess up their well-being and their livelihood for that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be revealing truth, and now you can't make money no more. Now you have to go back to the hood and be like everybody else. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just don't expect entertainers to speak the truth and destroy their livelihood. You know what I mean? So you just gotta allow people to be them. Do I like Logic rap? I don't listen to Logic. Shreen Brazil resonates with Jupiter to me. It is what it is. If it resonates with Jupiter, then you, so be it. If that's your interpretation, that's your interpretation again. My interpretation is Venus for my own personal reasons. If you see the Jupiter, then it's Jupiter. To each his own. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you wrong. It is what it is. But I encourage everybody to do their own experiments and come up with their own conclusion. All right, so do your own experience. B.O.B. saw how sheep-like people are and went on a hiatus. You chill with Brother Panic a lot. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you take risk speaking truth because this world is filled with lies. So you are a person speaking truth. That's risky. You get what I'm like? That's not easy to do. That's especially if you're in the entertainment industry, which is ran by devils. You know, who's ran by people who's just all about manipulation, lying, cheating, and stealing and robbing people. Then you start speaking truth. That, you know, that's gonna mess up your money. You know what I mean? So again, you just, to each his own. Just don't expect entertainers to keep it real. You know, just don't expect, they're entertainers for a reason. Let them be who they are. You know what I mean? It is what it is, right? Everybody's expecting entertainers to be, you know, to be something they're not. So that's my only issue with it. Is people expecting entertainers to, because they have a platform, because they have large followers, because they have a big influence, that they need to speak up about certain things. But you know, that's on them. But they know if they do, you know, it's risky behavior. So that's why a lot of them know the truth, but they just not gonna say it because it's risky behavior. You know what I mean? You don't know what type of backlash that's gonna come from that. You know what I mean? So just let an entertainer be let an entertainer entertain you. Don't expect entertainers to enlighten you. Let them entertain you. Don't expect them to enlighten you. Just let them do their job. Let them do their job. That's it. What's the best mantra to protect your aura from envy, jealous people? I'm creating a lot of success for myself, but I feel so much negative energy being sent to me. It's relentless. That's just a part of the game. That's just when you are successful, then you will get haters. You know, there's no way around that. It's just more so how you deal with it. It's just a part of the game. It's the polarity. When you got money, you're gonna be begged by people who don't got it. They're gonna try to, you know what I mean, try to figure out a way to bring you down, to expose you, to discredit you. That's just how people are, because they don't know who they are. They're ignorant. So they can, especially if you know what I mean, you came from the same situation that they came from, and they still in that same situation, and they see you elevating, they see you driving nice cars, they see you living good, they see you got a family, and they still in the same situation that they in. So that's just a part of the game. It's just a part of the game. You can't really stop it. It's just about, don't allow it to take you off of your square. Stay in tune with who and what you are. So again, unless people are physically putting their hands on you, it ain't even something you gotta worry about. Unless somebody is physically harming you, but if this is words, you know. Again, when people spew out negative, they call this the evil eye. That's basically what it is. Jealousy, envy is called the evil eye. So if you want protection from the evil eye, then you can, this is protection from the evil eye. So most people look at this as negative. Oh, this is devilish. No, this is protection from the evil eye. You know what I mean? Just throw this up. You know what I mean? Throw it up. Or I believe it's called Fatima's hand. Fatima's hand, you know, the hand with the eye in the middle of the hand, wear that. That's protection from the evil eye. Just type it in Google. Protection from the evil eye. I believe it's called Fatima's hand. You know what I mean? So use that. There's protection from the evil eye. And that'll help ease all that. You think it's flat or somewhat flat plus moon is closer than they say, you know? Oh, I guess you're talking about the flat earth. Who knows? Nobody has ever been out of space, so nobody truly knows the shape of the planet. Because all that moon landing, we never been out of space. That never happened. So we just saying it's flat, but nobody really know the actual shape. That's just what people say. Like, oh, either it's round or it's flat. Nobody really knows. So I would, you know what I mean? I would encourage somebody astral project and see for themselves. We don't have to, you know, let's stop speculating. Put in spiritual work, astral project, and see the true shape of the earth. And come back and tell the people. Instead of taking somebody else's word for it, I want people to put in spiritual work and get real spiritual revelations. And see for themselves. So, what's the best way to keep a girl interested in pursuing you? Stay masculine. Simple as that. Stay masculine. Women are naturally drawn to masculinity. As long as you stay masculine, then women will forever pursue you because they're drawn to masculine energy. So stay masculine. Stay dangerous. You know what I mean? You would never be at a short of women pursuing you when you say masculine. Again, like everybody's like, oh, it's a special pickup technique and all this. You don't have to do anything special. Just be masculine. It's only when you're unmasculine that women start looking at you crazy. To stay masculine. Stay masculine. You know, which is basically what we do anyway, right? To stay masculine. And you don't even want to be around somebody where you feel like you have to be other than yourself anyway. Why even be around women where you have to pretend, or you have to lie, you have to, you know what I mean? You have to do something extra. Just be yourself. Be your masculine self. You don't have to do anything extra because you have to keep doing that. And that's not being honest when you're just doing it just for them. Don't do anything for women. Just be yourself and let them come to you. Don't do nothing special trying to keep women around you. Because now you have to keep doing that. And it gets tiring because that's not who you are. Because who you are is masculine. So increase your masculinity. And they will be drawn to you, and you don't have to do nothing. You can just be sitting on the couch doing nothing, and you're going to have a woman that wants to rub your face. And, many other things that we don't have to mention. You don't have to do nothing special. Just be masculine. You know? So, I mean, let me see. Let me put on something else. Let's see what we got. Give me 1 second. Let me change this up. See what we got. See if we can play this. So yeah, I'm using a YouTube app, so of course maybe a couple ads, but let me just turn this on. All right, here we go. All right, we good. Smoke perp? Yeah, you can smoke if you want to, But like I said, just be masculine. Just be masculine. So all you gotta do as a man, just be masculine. When you're masculine, you just do manly things. When you do manly things, and women are drawn to you naturally. It ain't about what you're saying. It's not about how you look. It's not about how big your muscle is. It's not about what you're wearing. It ain't about none of that. They are drawn to your masculine energy. It ain't about earrings and this and how clean cut you are. It ain't about none of that, how straight your teeth is. And all that's extra. Just be masculine. They're drawn to you on a masculine. There's more going on than meets the eye. That's what most people don't realize. It ain't about, again, what you're wearing, what you're not wearing. More is going on than meets the eye. Let's see, what time is it? So hopefully that makes sense. Be masculine. Be dangerous. Smoke purple. Oh no! If you're referring to that's Smoke Perp, a person I'm playing on. I don't even know who Smoke Perp is. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. So again, unless y'all have any more questions, we'll get up out of here. I know y'all got other shit to do. I just gave y'all some game. Y'all keep it moving. Y'all apply the game, keep it moving. What I mean, be dangerous, but just be ready to defend your life. Meaning, like, we're in a pretty dangerous world. Like, we're on planet Earth. We're not in heaven. We're on Earth. So, basically, be ready to defend yourself if necessary. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a dangerous world. That's what I say. So, that's what I mean by be masculine. Just be prepared to do what's necessary if the opportunity calls for it. Because you don't want something to happen, then you can't do anything. So be ready for war. In other words, be ready for war. Be ready for things to pop off at any moment. Because they may just pop off. Don't walk around here assuming that everything is sweet. You know what I mean? Take on a martial art. If you're not into martial arts, take on a fighting style so that you can defend yourself, stay dangerous, stay in shape. Just manly stuff, So to stay on point, this is an art of war. So you got to play the game like it's the art of war. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. That's what I mean. There's a war going on outside and no one is safe from it. Yeah, pretty much so. Stay dangerous, you know. Live life like it's an art of war, because it actually is. You know, there's always somebody out there trying to rob you, not necessarily physically, but it may be through a contract. See, people are more sophisticated now. Yeah, they may not run up and you start punching you in the face. They may give you a bad contract. They may pay you less than what you're worth. So that's what I mean by the art of war. It's like whenever you're dealing with people on any level, just make sure that you're not getting the lower end of the stick. Make sure that you're getting what you're worth, and that nobody is, you know what I mean, nobody is manipulating you because of things that you may not know. So that's what I mean. Just treat life like the art of war, so that nobody can get over on you. Because you got a lot of con artists out here who thrive off lying, cheating, stealing, and robbing people financially. Not just physically, but also financially. Through contracts, because people don't understand law. You know what I mean? So just, you got to operate like it's an art of war. Always get paid for what you're worth. Don't let nobody take advantage. So let me see. Let me go to this another song. Here, what we got. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let me play this. All right.
You know, my nigga, it's all shit.
Do I need to do a physical ritual to marry a deity, or can I do it mentally? Yeah, all this is done in a dream world. So, you know, again, I don't want to do like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, because it don't really work like that. Everybody is different. The spirit may come to you in a different form than it comes to me, and vice versa. So there is no step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You just have to pay attention and go with the flow. Pay attention and go with it. You know what I mean? So again, I can have a completely different experience than you, even though we may be dealing with the same deity. You know what I mean? So, but they're gonna come to you in a form that makes sense to you. So they may come to me in a red dress, may come to you in a blue dress, or vice versa if you're a woman. You know what I mean? So you have to go with the manifestations that they show you. So that's why, like, there is no step 1, step 2. You just go with it. Pay attention and go with it. You know, again, I'm just here to plant the seed. You know, how that seed flourishes will be up to you. Are you able to see past the physical and see through someone? Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the whole purpose of telepathy, the whole purpose of the third eye, divination. In other words, it's divination. So divination allows you to see multiple layers of people. You can see people on various levels when your third eye is open. So you can see exactly who a person is without ever having to speak to them. You can just read a person's aura. You know, you may not necessarily see the aura, you may not see the color of their aura, but you can pick it up, and, you know, intuitively. You can intuitively pick up on the signals, you know, that's emitting from their aura, and you can know everything about a person. You can face reading, you know, study face reading. Everything is within people's face read. So you can see, you know, depending on the structure of a person's face, tells their whole life story. You know, so get into the art of divination, face reading, reading palms, palmistry. You know what I mean? All these arts that nobody talks about no more. And again, everybody's into all this other stuff. You know, trying to be fake witches and fake magicians. Don't know how to face read, don't know how to read palms, don't know how to see auras, don't know how to interpret anybody's energy, but they consider themselves spiritual and magical, and it's just, you know, they're young, you know what I mean? They're still young. So I'm not gonna beat up on the kids. Just let you know. Why you ain't answering my question? I didn't see your question, bro. I didn't see your question. You know what I mean? Ask the question again. I didn't even see it. So if I missed the question, I missed it. But ask it again. I didn't see it. Been in MMA for 6 years, and my spiritual awakening activated in correspondence with my training. Exactly. The body, the mind, and the spirit must be one. That's why I definitely take on a martial arts. That definitely will help in anything you're doing. So definitely, I definitely approve that, and I second that. Definitely, martial arts will enhance whatever you're doing. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Let me see. Does drinking alcohol and taking drugs affect you spiritually? It depends on if you can control it. See, a lot of people get drunk, don't know the limit. A lot of people get high, don't know the limit. It's all about you. Like, for example, everybody who smoke weed don't have spiritual revelations. Everybody who drink alcohol don't have spiritual revelations because their vibration is already too low. They just get high, get hungry, eat some popcorn, have some sex, watch, some funny movie and go to sleep. Then you have other people who can smoke the same weed that they smoke, but because they've been putting in spiritual work, they having a completely different experience. So it all depends. That depends on you more so than the substance. So the substance is not going to do the work for you. I guess that's what people assume. The weed ain't going to do the work for you. The alcohol ain't going to do the work for you. As long as you are doing the work, you can use those as a tool to connect if you choose. Do you need those tools? No. But if you want to use them, can they be used as tools? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what I mean. You just got to put in the work. The work is not going to be done for you. You always put in the work. And that will determine how the tools help you. But if you're not putting in no work, if you are expecting them to do it for you, then you will be rudely, disappointed. So put in the work. So again, there's no substitute for spiritual work. There's no substitute. The tools are not a substitute. Constantly put in work. Let me see. We put on something else. What we got? Let's see. What can we play? Give me 1 second. Y'all know I gotta constantly be playing the absolute most ratchetest thing I can find. Just to throw people off. How can you be spiritual but listening to madness? It's all about you. You put in that work, you can go beyond what everybody else see as wicked, right? If they even understand that. Let me see what we got. Hold on. Let me go up here. Let's see what we put on this. Martial arts unlock chambers? Absolutely. Like Wu-Tang? Absolutely right. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. So again, I think I made myself clear. I think I made myself pretty clear in these 2 hours. So once again, y'all let me know. Yeah, we'll be on here in about 5 more minutes. We make it a full 2 hours and we get up out of here. So these last 5-6 minutes, we can just vibe up. So y'all let me know. Just shuffle up a little bit. We just pull one card. We just pull one card. See what last thing to think about before we get up out of here. See what's up. And the last thing before we get up out of here is the 4 of Cups. What is this? Opportunity change. Right? So whenever we're dealing with the Suit of Cups, you know, we're dealing with emotions. You know what I mean? So emotions. So a lot of us talk about, you know, your emotions being out of whack. But when your emotions are organized, just like your thoughts are organized, it gives you the opportunity to change how you feel about anything. You can control how you feel about anything. For example, there's people who cry when somebody close to them dies. But then there's other people who celebrate. Like, yo, okay, this person ain't got to deal with this human experience no more. They go into the next round. I salute them. But somebody else, it's the worst day of their life. Right? So we can influence how we feel about anything. We don't have to feel a type of way about nothing. We can be in full control about how we feel about anything that happens to us, around us, that we hear about what's going on with somebody else. We can always be in control of how we feel and how our emotions, how we react to situations. And once we are in control of how we react to situations, it creates opportunities for us to change our experience. Because we know, you know, somebody may die, and that messes up, you know, that has a person in a weird space for weeks at a time. Or anything. You may lose a person, lose a job, lose your phone, lose this, lose that, and it just have you in a funk for weeks. It could turn to months. But if you put your emotions in a proper place, it can create opportunities for you to transcend what you think you should be feeling because of a particular situation. So you don't have to be influenced by whatever situation, what that may be going on. You can be in full control over, you know, what's going on and how you feel about it. So always remember that you are in full control of how you feel about anything that happens. Good, bad, positive, negative, right, wrong, neutral. We can neutralize any emotion. Or something that's supposed to be bad, we can neutralize that bad feeling and transmute it and transcend it into a good feeling. We have that ability. We don't have to settle for what we think we should be feeling. Somebody can cheat on you. Somebody you've been with for 10 years can cheat on you. You don't have to feel no type of way about it. Exit out of the relationship, move on if that's what you want to do, or forgive them and keep it moving. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be something that just destroys you for weeks at a time. And like, well, I don't trust this person and all that. You don't have to feel that way because you feel like, oh, when a person does that, this is how you should react. Or this is how I've been told to react. Or this is how I've been programmed to react. You know what I mean? You don't have to limit yourself to any one of those situations. You are in full control of how you feel. And your emotions organize with your thoughts, create opportunity for you to transcend and truly put in spiritual work, because that's what's going to be going on in the spirit realm. Especially if you're talking about doing dream work or spirit work, you're going to be going through way more extreme situations than you're going through in the physical world. You may see demons and ghouls and, you know, what people perceive to be, you know, bad things or negative things in the dream world. That may scare the shit out of you. But it don't have to be. You know? Let me see. You know what I mean? You don't have to be that. So we'll leave out. So let me see if any questions, or otherwise we get up out of here. Have I ever astral traveled? Let me turn this down. You know, we gonna put on that Machiavelli. We gonna leave out playing that Machiavelli. You know what I mean? You already know. Have I ever astral traveled to somebody's house or gained information about someone just by speaking to them from your third eye? Not necessarily. I'm not really into that. I don't care to astral travel to nobody's house. I don't care about what's going on in nobody's house. I don't care what's going on behind closed doors. I don't care about who's fucking who. Like, I'm just, you know, I don't care. I don't care enough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know what's going on in somebody else's household. So I never really cared to do something like that. But there are people who do that. And is it possible? It is definitely possible to do that. I'm just not a person who cared to know what's going on in somebody else's bedroom. You know, it's people who astral project and, you know what I mean, look at women taking showers and all that. I just never really been into that. I don't really care, you know? Let's see. Thank you for the knowledge. No doubt, no doubt. What is a chant for Saturn? I need that discipline in my life. Well, I would say, let me see. You know, because it's just so many mantras. So let me see. Give me a second. Because again, I don't just have every mantra just on the dome. So let me see. But actually, just email me. I'll send you the mantra through the email. Cause I don't have it right on the top of the dome. So email me asharenu.com. Send me an email. You know what I mean? Then I'll locate the mantra for you and I'll send it straight to you, bro. You know what I mean? Because I don't just have it right off the top of the dome. And I don't wanna give you misinformation. You know what I mean? So just send me an email, I'll send it directly to you. Any thoughts on what is this? I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is the definition of that? I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Define that, Antonio. I don't even know what that is. Actually, let me just define it myself, right? I got the internet right here too. So let me see what you're talking about. I'll just turn the music off. Let me see. Give me 1 second, and we'll get up out of here. So let me see what you're talking about. Let's research. 1 second. Let me see. It says the endurance of pain or hardship without display of feelings and without complaint. Basically, patience, fortitude, acceptance, tolerance. So I guess your question is, what do I think about it? I mean, that's the point, I would say. Especially if you're a man. You know, especially if you're a man, you know, you're not really supposed to be displaying your feelings anyway. I'm not saying like men don't have emotions, but men shouldn't emotionally react to situations. You know, so yeah, you know, get it in. You know, definitely don't wear your emotions on your sleeve. Don't let people know what you're thinking. You know what I mean? Always walk around like a mystery. Be mysterious. You know what I mean? Because if people can read you like a book, then you can be manipulated. So when you got a straight face and people, you know what I mean, you got the mysterious vibe going on, then, you know, people kind of don't know how to, you know, manipulate you, in other words. You know, so you would have to deal less with those type of things. So yeah, definitely be mysterious. Be mysterious. You know, don't just wear your emotions and your thoughts and telling people all your business and all that. You know what I mean? Be secretive. Be silent. Be mysterious. You know, that works. You know, now because people want to know like what's going on with you, and you know, be mysterious. Because the moment somebody has you figured out, then they lose interest. You know, so always, forever be changing. You know, so be mysterious. Trust me. You already asked me that question. What, Lizzie? I just answered that. You asked that 10 minutes ago. So yeah, I already answered that. Yeah. So have I astral projected somebody's house? No. Like I'm just not interested in doing that. You know, I don't care about what's going on in somebody else's house. But is it possible? Yes. But do I do it personally? Nah. Exactly. Mysterious like a cat. You already know. So we're going to get up out of here. You know what I mean? I am part of the message. Y'all already know. Salute to everybody that's tuning in, that's going to watch this later in the future. Again, I'm not sure when y'all see me again, but you will see me again. But trust me, it's gonna be fly. You know what I mean? Again, this is so no more of this. Like I'm just outside. No more of this. We're gonna upgrade. We're gonna keep it fly. We're gonna keep it grown up, and we're gonna keep it luxurious. So y'all see me on a whole nother higher plane next time. So I'm gonna be busting these moves in the background. I may still be active on Facebook. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the group. Join the Facebook and follow me on Instagram. Definitely follow the website. You know what I mean? asharenu.com. So I'll be more active on those. But in terms of YouTube, we're gonna put this down for a while and we're gonna be busting these moves. So till next time, y'all already know. We up.